Hello everyone, welcome to Mastermind. So this is part 5 in which we were discussing multiple choice questions, the top 50 multiple choice questions for upcoming examinations, and this is the part 4. In last 3 parts we have discussed around 14 to 15 topics. We have discussed solely related to silk as well. So if you have not watched the previous parts, you can watch the previous part. However, individually this part also can be watched. Let us start with the first one. Which of the following about OPEC is incorrect? Which of the following about OPEC is incorrect? Now, what is OPEC? OPEC stands for Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. So maybe at some point of a time in question itself they can give that Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, or they can just give it as OPEC, and you have to understand it is Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. So they have given 4 statements. You have to identify the wrong one in this. Let us look at the first one. It was created at Baghdad Conference in 1960. Baghdad Conference in 1960. Now you can observe that this is the fact. You either know about this or you don't know about this, because just by changing this name it can go wrong. So you can remember this as fact. Initially headquarter was at Vienna. Now it is at Geneva. Again, this is the fact. Iran and Iraq both are part of its founding members. Last one, Angola left the membership from 1st January 2024. Now, this is part of current affairs. So here the answer is B. Initially, headquarter was at Vienna. Now it is at Geneva. So it is actually the inverse. Initially, the headquarter was Geneva. Initially, it was at Geneva. At present, it is at Vienna. Other than that, all the other statements are correct. But this is very important for us to remember, because effective from 1st January 2024, a country called Angola has left the membership. A country called Angola has left the membership of OPEC. Let us understand about this in a little more detail. Now, this OPEC was founded in Baghdad. It was founded in Baghdad. Where is Baghdad? It is in Iran or Iraq? It is in Iraq. And hence, it was with the agreement of Baghdad itself. So it was with Baghdad conference itself. And when was it founded? It was founded in 1960. So these days even factual statements are very important for KPSC examination especially, and also at some point of a time you never know if they can ask about that in UPSC as well. So it was founded in Baghdad in Iraq in 1960. And at that point of a time, the founding countries were 5. The founding countries were 5. First one was Iran. You have to remember, then it is Iraq. Usually these two are usually not together. So in this they are together. It is important for us. Third one is Kuwait. Fourth is Saudi Arabia. Fourth one is Saudi Arabia. And fifth one is Venezuela. You can see that this is the South American country over here. Now what they were wanting to do with this OPEC? OPEC was, like the name itself says, it is organization of the countries which exports petroleum. So they will decide the cost of the petroleum, how much each of them should have to be decided. So the members, whatever they will be deciding, right? So that will be the amount which they will produce. For example, if the production has to increase, or if the cost per barrel for the crude oil has to decrease, those things are decided by OPEC. So the countries which are member of this OPEC also are usually the ones which have petrol, which have that crude oil with them. So hence you have to remember these founding members. Only 5 are there, the founding members. Now there is a small mnemonic for this too, for you to remember this. So you can remember it as Kiwis. Kiwis are the founding members of OPEC. Now what are the founding members? K stands for Kuwait, I stands for Iran, V for Venezuela, I stands for Iraq, and S for Saudi Arabia. S stands for Saudi Arabia. You can remember this mnemonic if you are to remember the founding members of OPEC. This will be very very important. Usually the question is asked from OPEC, and because this year Angola has removed its went out of the OPEC, it will be even more important for us. Now let us look at other details also. Okay, the next one is related to the headquarters. Initially, when it was formed, the headquarter was at Geneva. They said the headquarter was at Geneva in 1960. Later on, they changed it to Vienna. Later on, they changed it to Vienna from 1965. From 1965. Now, when it comes to Angola, when did Angola become the member of OPEC? That will also be important for us, correct? So, Angola became the member of OPEC in 2007. Okay, it became a member in 2007, and later on, it left the membership with effect from 1st January 2024. So, this in all the examinations which are upcoming in 2024, at least in 2 or 3 examinations, this question will definitely be asked. Okay, now which are the other countries which have left the membership? Correct, that will also be important. The other countries which have left the membership are, first one is Ecuador. Okay, first one is Ecuador. Sorry, I usually call it as Ecuador only. It is Ecuador. Next one is Indonesia and Qatar. So you have to remember 4 countries, because with these countries only they'll be making the options in prelims, in objective type questions. Ecuador, Indonesia, Qatar, and the recent one is Angola. Now, if you are looking at this Ecuador. Now, all these details I have taken from OPEC's official website itself. All these details are mentioned in OPEC's official website itself. So, Ecuador suspended its membership in December 1992. Okay, it suspended. Then it rejoined again. In 2007. But recent one, that is from 1st January 2020, it left again. Ecuador, it got its membership in 1992. It suspended its membership in 1992. It rejoined in 2007. Again, from 1st January 2020, it left. Okay. Next one is Indonesia for us. In case of Indonesia suspended its membership in 2009. Then it rejoined recently, which was in 2016. So you can see that in these years the question has been asked from OPEC, but again it suspended its membership. It joined in January 2016, but again it suspended in January only. Not in January, in 2016 only. One second. In 2016 only. In 2016 November, it suspended its membership. Okay. Now Qatar. Next one is Qatar. So we are looking at way too much detail with respect to this, because one question might definitely be asked from any of these. Now Qatar terminated its left from 1st January 2019. There is another country called as Gabon. So what is it with Gabon is that Gabon terminated or left in 1995, but it rejoined in July 2016. So you can see in July 2016 Indonesia left. Indonesia also had rejoined. Then Indonesia left and Gabon had rejoined. So in map related questions, in one of the examination they would have asked about Gabon also. and related to Ecuador, Indonesia, Qatar, etc. They have asked previously. At present, the thing which is in news, the country which is in news is Angola, which has terminated its membership from 1st January 2024. Now, on the OPEC website itself, as you can see over here, on the OPEC website itself, they are mentioning about, see here, Angola. That is, Angola withdrew its membership effective from 1st January 2024. And currently, it is saying that the total is 12 member countries. The total is 12 member countries. It is said in the OPEC website itself. So I hope you have understood about the points related to OPEC till here. These are very important, but you have to remember related to Angola as well. In the future multiple choice questions, we'll be discussing about important countries which are in news. In that, we'll be discussing Angola as well. But for now, you have to remember that Angola is a African country. 1 second, I'll write it over here only. Angola is a African country. African country. It is in the west of Africa. It is in west of Africa. It is in west of Africa. So for example, if you are taking Africa as something like this, Africa is something like this, and this is a Cape of Good Hope. Cape of Good Hope. And in this region, you will find a country called as Angola. So it is a coastal country. So it is a coastal country. And here you have Gabon. In this region, you can find there is Gabon, but it does not border Angola actually. There is a Republic of Congo over here. Then there is Democratic Republic of Congo over here. And then there is Zambia over here. Then there is Botswana, which doesn't have border with Angola. Then there is Namibia. So these are some of the countries which are important. And here you can see there is Atlantic Ocean. Here there is Atlantic Ocean over here. Okay, Gabon also is a country in Africa only. So it is above this Angola. So below, in between this, there is Republic of Congo. So if you can see, Democratic Republic of Congo is usually asked in the examination. So I hope you have understood about all the questions related to OPEC. Let us move on to the next one. Next question: which of the following organizations is known as words Atoms for Peace and Development? Atoms for Peace and Development. So which of the following organization? Is it OPEC, NATO, IAEA or SARC? Here the answer is IAEA. IAEA. IAEA stands for International Atomic Energy Agency. There are a few important points related to International Atomic Energy Agency. We'll look at those now. Now, the first statement which they'll ask in examination is that, is IAEA part of United Nations? So in their website itself, it says that this organization is within the UN family itself. It is within the UN family itself. Okay, even though it is within UN family, it is independent. It is independent. That is, it is independent of United Nations General Assembly also, and it is independent of UNESCO as well. But it is part of United Nations family. Now, what is the purpose of this? So, they undertake scientific and technical cooperation. Scientific and technical cooperation in nuclear field. In nuclear field. This is very, very important. Atomic Energy Agency, when it comes, you have to remember the word nuclear field. Nuclear field. Now, where is its headquarters? Its headquarters also is in Vienna, in Austria. Vienna, in Austria. So, usually there are a lot of agencies whose headquarters is in either Geneva or in Vienna. Now, what is the main purpose of International Atomic Energy Agency? So there is an agreement called as NPT. There is an agreement called as NPT. What is NPT? NPT stands for Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Non-proliferation means that it should not be spreading across. Okay. So the purpose itself is to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons and weapon technology also. So spread of nuclear weapons nuclear weapons and weapon related technology. This should not be spread. Rather, they promote cooperation in peaceful use of this nuclear energy, and they aim at nuclear disarmament. Nuclear disarmament. Okay, if there is a nuclear weapon, it has to be converted into peaceful use for nuclear purpose. Okay, this is what is NPT. You can look at NPT with three aims. One is, it looks at non-proliferation. Non-proliferation means that it should not be multiplied, it should not be spread. Second one is disarmament of nuclear weapons. And third one is promotes peaceful use of nuclear. Peaceful use. So this is what is NPT. So I hope you have understood what exactly is NPT. Now, this International Atomic Energy Agency is there, right? So this implements this NPT. It implements the NPT. That is why it is very important. So it implements the agreements by NPT, that is Defense Against Nuclear Weapons Proliferation. So total membership of IAEA as of 19th September 2023 is 178 members. It might have increased also, it might have decreased, but according to their website, they say that the latest members as of 2023 are Cabo Verde, then Guinea, then there is Gambia, etc. So this is what is the website saying. So here is the screenshot from their website itself. In 2023, it is Cabo Verde, Guinea, and then Gambia are the latest countries, is what it is telling, and the total membership is 178 as of 19th September 2023, and that is because the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which joined in 74, withdrew in 94, and considering other countries, it is 178 members as of now. So I hope you have understood about International Atomic Energy Agency. You have to remember 2-3 things. First one is UN family, part of UN family. Second one is Vienna. Third one is NPT. It implements NPT. In case of NPT, again, non-proliferation, disarmament, and peaceful use. So because there are so many organizations, there are so many agencies, so many bodies which we have to remember, it will be difficult for us to remember all 10-12 points. So with respect to each organization, if you are remembering, let's say 5 to 6 words, on that you can expand and eliminate the options and reach to the correct answers as well. So that is how it will be easier trick for you to study those. So International Atomic Energy Agency. Let's move on to the next one. Which of the following about sovereign gold bond scheme? Which of the following about sovereign gold bond scheme is not correct? Which is not correct? First statement says that it is issued by RBI on behalf of Government of India. Second statement says that the minimum investment is 1 gram. Can I buy less than 1 gram? Can I buy less than 1 gram? You have to know that. Can you buy less than 1 gram? You have to know that. Is it issued by RBI only, or is it issued by Government of India? You have to know that. The maximum limit for an individual is 4 kg. 4 kg is way too much, isn't it? So you have to know that. Fourth one is, it can be sold through RRBs, payment banks, as well as scheduled commercial banks. So here the statement which is incorrect is D. Statement which is incorrect is D. Okay, that is RRBs, payment banks, and scheduled commercial banks. So it is actually sold through scheduled commercial banks, whereas RRBs, payment banks are not part of this. Other than this, the other statements which are given are very true. So you can see that sovereign gold bonds also has been repeated multiple choice in the examination. Let us look at a few points related to sovereign gold bonds. Now, when the government wants to raise money, at that point of a time, they'll release a few bonds. And what happens is, people buy these bonds, and when they buy this bond, they pay amount for that particular bond, and this amount goes to Government of India, which will help Government of India in its spending, correct? And for this bond, the security itself is government. correct? The security itself is government, so it is more safe for a person to buy this. And also they'll be getting interest on that as well. So that is called as government bonds. So when the government wants to raise money, they raise the bonds. And similarly, one of that is the sovereign gold bonds. So if you are buying sovereign gold bonds, it is issued by RBI. It is issued by Reserve Bank of India on behalf of government of India. On behalf of government of India. It is issued by Reserve Bank of India. Now Reserve Bank of India will not be able to issue it directly, right? So with the help of banks, through scheduled commercial banks, it will be issuing those things. So in 2023 also, sovereign gold bonds, the government of India had decided to issue sovereign gold bonds with the help of Reserve Bank of India. So through Reserve Bank of India they released that. So initially when it first started, it was in November 2015. So the first sovereign gold bond scheme itself was launched by government in 2015, and this was under gold monetization scheme with an objective to reduce the demand for physical gold itself. And shift a part of domestic savings that is used to purchase the gold into financial savings. That is, the person was buying gold previously. Let's say this is gold. They were buying the gold previously. Now, what happens when you buy a jewelry or gold? Then, let's say they have bought it for rupees 100. So, after 1 year, its rate might be 120. Let's assume it is 120. But when they are buying the gold also, that is jewelry, they are paying a lot of different costs. Correct? That is, they are paying the making charges, the wastages, etc. They'll be paying for this. Correct? So when they are selling it also, when they are selling the gold also, those charges will be deducted. That is, the wastages, etc. will be deducted. So what government decided was that government only will issue the bonds which is for the value of gold. That is, instead of buying the gold, they can buy the gold bond. So as the rate of gold increases, the returns for the bond also will be increasing, correct? And along with that, they'll be getting the interest also for that. So that is the basis behind this sovereign gold bonds. So that is what in order to reduce the demand for physical gold and shift the part of domestic savings which people are using to buy the gold, instead of this domestic savings, if they are converting it into financial savings, then it will be working well for people also, it will be working well for government also. So their funds and this wastages, etc., this loss will be saved, and along with that, government also will be getting money, and whatever is the amount which is spent on the gold, that also will be in circulation. So on the basis of that only this was issued. So into 2015-2016 also, in lot of examinations, sovereign gold bonds were asked, and recently in 2023 also again they released the sovereign gold bonds, and because of that only this was also in news. Now, who can buy this sovereign gold bonds? Who can buy this eligibility? Sovereign gold bonds. An individual can buy. Okay, individual can buy it. Then there is a Hindu undivided family. So they can buy. The residents restricted for the sale to resident individuals and Hindu undivided families. It can be bought by trusts. Can universities buy? Yes, even universities can buy. And charitable institutions. Very, very important for us. That is, individuals that they can buy, that is there. But even the Hindu undivided family, they can buy, which is called as HUF, Hindu undivided family. If there are trusts, they can buy. Even universities can buy, and charitable institutions can buy. Very, very important. You might get confused. And what is the period? The period is usually for 8 years. Then it can be you can redeem it even before, that is after 5th year. You can redeem it as well. Now, what is the minimum limit in this? Very important. So the minimum limit for here to buy is 1 gram. 1 gram. And what is the maximum? Now, because there are different eligibility criteria, there will be different maximum limit. In case of individual, the maximum which they can buy is 4 kg itself. In case of individual, the maximum they can buy is 4 kg itself. In case of Hindu undivided family, they also can buy this 4 kg itself is the limit. Whereas in case of trust, there is 20 kg which is the limit. There is 20 kg which is the limit. I hope you have understood about this. Then what is the issue price? The price of sovereign gold bonds will be fixed in Indian rupees only, and it is on the basis of simple average of closing price of the gold of 999 purity. 999 purity, on the closing price of 999 purity. Now, through whom it will be sold? Through whom it will be sold? It will be sold through scheduled commercial banks. Scheduled commercial banks. Now, more than this, who cannot sell it will be very important. Who cannot sell is very, very important. First one is small finance bank cannot sell this. Payment banks are not eligible to sell this. Regional rural banks are not eligible to sell this. Okay, so scheduled commercial banks can sell this. Then there is a Stock Holding Corporation of India Limited, they can. Then there is a Corporation of India Limited. Designated Post Office also can sell. National Stock Exchange of India, Bombay Stock Exchange, they also can be selling this. It can be either directly or through agents, they can sell this. But this is very important, that small finance bank, payment bank and regional rural bank, these cannot be selling this. Okay, now what is the interest rate? The interest rate is fixed at 2.50% per annum. 2.50% per annum. See, the gold price will be increasing, that you will be getting the return. For example, if it is 100 now and after let's say 5 years it is 500, you will be getting this 500 as well, but along with that you will be getting the interest. Now, another important point is that that is the sovereign gold bonds can be eligible for trading as well. It can be eligible for trading as well. Okay, and whatever the banks which will be maintaining this statutory liquidity ratio, this can be maintained as the sovereign gold bonds as well. This is again very important. So when we are looking at sovereign gold bonds, what are the points which is very important? The eligibility is one thing which you have to see. Next one, what is the minimum maximum limit which you have to see. Next one, who cannot sell, you can see. Then next one is SLR and tradability, these. So if multiple choice questions are to be made, they will usually be made from these parts itself. So I hope you have understood about sovereign gold bonds. So previously in 2016, this question has been asked. Let us look at it. What is or are the purpose or purposes of government's sovereign gold bond scheme and gold monetization scheme? First statement says that to bring ideal gold lying with Indian households into the economy. So gold into the economy. It seems to be true. Next one, to promote foreign direct investment in gold and jewelry. Sector. Third statement says that to reduce India's dependence on gold imports. So here the answer is C. That is to switch from gold to finance circulation. That is the main aim, right? So they might bring the gold lying and then they can circulate it in the economy, and because it is in the economy, you might import less amount of gold, and you are getting the bond also, which is financially secure, and you'll be getting the interest also on that along with the face value of the gold. Correct? So this was asked in the examination. So I hope you have understood about this. I think the video is becoming very long. So the next question will be discussing in the next part itself. The next question itself will be discussing in the next part, because otherwise only for 4 questions or for 5 questions this will be very long video. So next question will be discussing in the next part. I hope you are liking the series. You can let me know in the comment section as well. I'll see you soon in the next one. Thank you.